Between two rivers, dawn is not peace. It is a summons to judgment. Two armies face each other, like cliffs waiting for the first collapse. Wind through the reeds carries earth's scent and the certainty of struggle. On the city walls, banners move like verdicts already set in stone. The king of the gate watches, knowing choices end within this hour. The other king advances, chasing the right to stand above all others. Dust rises, as if the land itself is breathing under the burden. A tightened grip, a silent nod. Wars begin before any shout arrives. In Commander's eyes, honor weighs heavier than life, heavier than fear. And the space between them is where peace dies first, quietly. Two war chariots enter empty ground, where words fail and pride speaks. The invader offers terms. One last exit from the river of blood. The defender looks back and sees compromise as a wound to rule. Flags tremble, and even the air seems to shiver with meaning. The scribe waits for a treaty, yet the clay remains stubbornly blank. The vizier stands half a step behind, measuring every breath and glance. A hand on the sword hilt an oath, made without a single sound. Across the gap, the answer is also steel, and also certainty. Thin dust hangs between them, a wall without bricks or mercy. Thousands behind them hold their breath, waiting for one final sign. On the wall, signals change their rhythm, meaning there is no retreat. The invader stares at the city, then at the future he demands. The defender turns away, sealing the last door shut from within. A distant horn splits the air. Everything else becomes suddenly irrelevant. The first blade leaves its sheath, not to strike, but to command. The second blade rises, two wills collide, and one fate is forged. No handshake, only the signal of a storm breaking into the world. Birds lift from the reeds. Nature abandons the ground ahead of men. The scribe lowers his tablet. Peace will not be signed today. The vizier touches the seal at his chest, sealing the point of return. The chariots withdraw, letting war step forward into their abandoned place. Drums quicken the heartbeat of the plain, heavy and unforgiving now. One hand drops, advance, and the world moves with that gesture. One banner rises, hold, and the line tightens like a rope. And the wheels begin to grind the silence away, tooth by tooth. Shields close, lines move, people become a wall with a single breath. From above, they look like two currents colliding, refusing to yield. War carts roll, wood and leather singing sounds older than memory. Bowstrings draw tight, anger measured in breath, then released into sky. Arrows rise like rain no one can negotiate with. No one can stop. Shields meet the falling sky, Wood shudders, and men stand anyway. A commander sees the breach before it appears, in dust and motion. The defender reads the field like a storm, turning, then turning again. The sun fades behind dust, and time seems to fade with it. Lines collide, the sound of the old world cracking beneath human weight. The ground breaks underfoot, like memory being trampled into hard dust. Chariots cut the flank, carving into formation and into resolve. The invader points his blade, not at a man, but at an era. The defender yields toward the walls, the last boundary behind his back. Drums and horns blend with wind. No one hears themselves anymore here. The line begins to fracture, and so does resolve, thread by thread. The scribe runs, holding history on a slab of clay and dust. The vizier falls back, signaling the supply line. Victory needs grain. From above, the field is a living streak of dust and intent. And ambition's wedge finds the place to strike, like a hidden nail. A gap opens, and everything slides toward it, pulled by pressure. The invader's commander signals, "Break through now, before it closes again." Dust hides faces, giving war its mask, and men their distance. Footsteps hammer like hail. There is no turning back from this. From the sky, a dark surge races for the gate, unbroken. On the wall, chains pull tight, trying to close fate itself. The timber bar locks and trembles like a plea made of wood. The ram advances, heavy as a sentence, unstoppable once spoken aloud. Arrows fall from above, but cannot kill determination inside that surge. Shields rise as a moving roof, people turning into a fortress again. Dust and fragments rain down. The walls answer in broken pieces. The first blow, the city shudders, as if waking from a long dream. The second blow, cracks speak the truth, even when mouths stay closed. Sunlight turns bronze red, a warning that arrives far too late. The third blow, the gate opens, and history walks in without apology. Defenders fall back into the streets, guarding the last blocks of life. Invaders pour through like floodwater, finding a new bed in stone. Inside, dust and distant cries become a fevered haze over rooftops. Weapons drop. Surrender is not choice. It is survival under new rule. On clay, one mark is pressed. The city is lost today. Outside the walls, wind moves over the field like an epitaph written. The new king enters slowly. Victory has weight, and it drags him. He sees the people and learns, a crown cannot hide this pain. Hands rise not for mercy, but for life, for bread, for tomorrow. Thin smoke hangs over reed roofs. The city breathes weakly through ash. He signals his men to stop. Discipline must win before conquest does. The vizier steps close behind, reading granaries and canals like lifelines. Commanders wait for orders now to hold, not to break, not to burn. From above, the city does not drown in chaos, because control endures. Seals and orders replace blades, and victory becomes responsibility at last. Grain carts roll in, their wheels pulling hope behind them through dust. Barley is handed out, and eyes soften for the first time today. Ancient incense rises, while the vizier keeps hope in disciplined lines. Canals cleared, fields sown, troops trained, reform takes shape, quietly. And when the king walks among them, the city greets a chance to live.